T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? I'm back again. I've done about 3 streams today, Seriously, I've done about 3 streams. I've done one this afternoon, and I went on one just before I come on this. My friend Tony from Gunner TV went on his stream, and now I'm doing this with a special guest. This hopefully will be a new segment to my show, okay? Called it Let's Talk. And I've got a good friend of mine in the studio in the background. Now, first off, let me just say quick. When I come round and come on here, please like and subscribe. Okay, like and subscribe. If you already have subbed, right, comment, share, and hit the notification button. But most of all, hit that like button and subscribe. And if you have not subscribed, okay. When I rode to 300 subscribers, I'm on 287 at the moment. So yeah, it's looking good. So don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? Yeah, so I've got a special guest of mine, all the way from California. He deals with sports science, so we're going to chop it up about that. So hopefully this will be a new feature to my show and my shows that I have on my channel. And what I'll more like do, as and when I can get the guests to fill the slots, I will have sort of like these types of shows, okay? So without no further ado, I'm bringing my guest, man. Chris Angel in the studio, man. Bring my guest. Chris Angel, what's going on, big man? What's he saying? Man's got his paper and everything in the dark.
Yeah, I'm ready and stuff. I didn't want to come unprepared and stuff, you know what I mean?
Ready, G. He's ready.
Trying to help your channel grow and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't know, brother. Don't know. Let me just hit some of these comments before, obviously. Let's go here. Here's the comments before going. Ravi's in the building. He says, big up, Ravi. Enough respect to you. Also, we got keep it level. Yo. What's happening? What's happening? The firm. This is how it's going on. Kilo, the legend in the building. That's what Kilo in the dark.
Yeah, that's my nickname from a past life, man. When I used to be troublemaker.
Big up Chris Angel. AK Montana, let's top that. Stop that. Big up Rodz and Kilo. Yes, and that's come from Ravi FC. Big up LFC Aaron in the house. And big up Keep It Level in the house, man. Big up Ravi in the house, man. Okay. For those at the end of the day, obviously, that don't know you, please introduce yourself, my friend. Please introduce yourself.
Wow. My name is Christopher. Last name Angel. I get fun when I was a kid. I used to get a lot of made fun of because I have 2 first names. So Christopher, my first name, my last name is Angel. But people would be like, "Hey, you got 2 first names and stuff," and they would connect me with like the comedian or the magician Chris Angel. I don't know if you heard of him before.
No.
You never heard of he was really big out here in the States, but he was a magician. His name was Chris Angel, literally.
I'll have to
So
look him up still, you know, big man. I have to look him up still.
yeah, but yeah. So just to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a Liverpool fan, obviously, like most of the people on here. I've supported Liverpool for about 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I would say about 20 years. So I've seen a lot of unsuccessful times as well. Um, but recently, we've all seen some good times as well. So I'm here to kind of share light in a field that I'm very proud of. To tell you a little bit about myself personally, the reason why I got into the field was because, not to get religious or political, but I used to be in the military. I used to serve. I served 6 years in the Marine Corps. Um,
Okay.
and I did my studies as well at the same time of being in the military. I did my degree as well at the same time. Um, I've seen a lot of evil in the world, um, and I think not to get political but I think at the same time I've caused evil as well, and I got in the field because I wanted to help people.
Yeah.
Um, I believe in karma. I believe in doing good and good coming back, and um, I felt that um, helping people and helping them heal would somehow redeem or all the things I've done in my life, I guess, in a way. But we'll see and stuff. Not to get all sentimental and stuff, but
Yeah, man, for real, man, for real.
yeah. So that's that and stuff. So I'm here to answer some questions and bring some light, and maybe some people's not might not have the knowledge to understand some of the stuff we're going through medically, and I'm here to
Mm,
get insight in that field. So yeah.
mm. So tell me a little bit about this because it's sports science, isn't it? Sports science you do. Am I right?
Well, I'm a physical therapist, so
Physical therapist.
so I deal with helping people recover through injuries. So what I do, I work. I'm a private contractor for the military. So I'm a civilian in a way, but I
Okay.
work with the military in a way. So I work in Balboa Hospital, that's in California, right here, by San Diego. Um, and what I do is I help people recover after surgeries, typical surgeries like amputations. I deal with a lot of veterans and stuff like that. So just helping them have a decent life in a way. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. To like literally sort of kind of function as best way as they can, sort of like,
yeah.
isn't it?
hmm
Okay, okay. So how long have you been doing this physical therapy for then?
Uh, I would say 6 years. I left. Yeah, 6 years. 6 years.
Mm. And is it something that sort of like can I say, is it something that you enjoy doing? Do you feel at the end of the day that, well, yo, you know what, this is me. This is me.
At first, no. Um, because I was in the my wife makes fun of me, not fun, but she'll like crack jokes at me sometimes. 'Cause I went from this in America, we look at like Marines as these hardcore in the movie. If you watch movies, Marines are like
Yeah,
look
yeah,
like
yeah.
hardcore badasses, and I went from in a way being that to being a medical guy, and it like kind of looks weird and stuff. So, so from time to time, she'll look at me and look at like I'm soft and stuff like that. So.
Don't get too-
So it
Would
took
you
a
say
while.
don't get twisted over here?
Yeah, I put someone in a chokehold, but no. But it took me a while to kind of a lot of people don't realize the struggles of I think struggles of like being in something, being part of a family. I think being part of the military, being part of a family, being part of people that I've known for years, and understanding the meaning of having someone having your back, and then
Yeah,
getting out of that. And having like structure in a way in my life where I'm being told when to wake up, what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and then getting out, and then having to do that all those decisions by myself.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it took me a while to kind of realize it. Um, and then yeah, when I got out, I was going through depression
Mm,
um, because of things um, I've done or things I've I guess caused in
mm,
a way. And I met a veteran when I was doing some volunteer work when I got out, and he told me something that kind of helped me move forward in my
mm,
life. It was I asked him a question if you get nightmares and stuff, and he told me men that get nightmares are people that are ashamed of what they've done,
yeah.
and um, I can't change the past or I can't change, but what I can do is look into the future and look forward to the future, and that kind of like helped me move forward. And then and he was a veteran with an amputation from his knee down,
Mm.
so he was dealing with a prosthetic and stuff like that. So from that moment, I just devoted myself into helping people like that. So yeah, so that's what got me. Um, in,
Wicked, wicked. I'm gonna try and read out some of these comments, and then gonna come back to that. Right, keep it level says Kilo the legend in the building. Uh, big up Chris Angel and Kid Montana. I think I've read that one out before actually. Let me see if I've read this one out. Yeah, I've read that one out. Read that one. Oh yeah, I've heard. Was it? I've heard of him. That's Ravenite FC. He says I've heard of him. All right, and then Redbird's in the building. Redbird says big up. As always, Rods. Chris is the medical man. I've watched you on other chats. You're the man. Big up to you as well. It says big up to you as well. That's coming from Redbird. Everybody's good. Ensman says big up Rods. Big
oh,
up Ensman.
big up to you.
Remember to go over and subscribe to Ensman TV. Does a lot of wonderful stuff over there. At least TV does quiz nights, Q&As, the lot. Do you know what I mean? And footballs, watch along and stuff. Do you know what I mean? He does a bit of everything. So make sure you go over and like and subscribe to this guy's channel. He's a good friend of mine and also a friend of the channel as well. So go and show your support to Ensman, please. Please do that. And big up Chris. Okay. Big up Rods and Chris. That's come from KLFC. Okay. Keep it level says, can someone post Chris link in the stream for me to sub, please? You haven't got a channel, have you?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I was thinking of making one, but I don't have the time to be honest
Yeah.
to maintain.
Yeah. You know, obviously, if you change your mind, just let me know, and I'll post it out and get you support. But that's only if you change your mind. That's only if you change your mind. Ensman says, "Big up the chats. Big up Ensman." And didn't know Chris had a channel. No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
I don't
I
have one.
think Ensman TV said, like, comment, and subscribe. Yes, do that. Make sure you do that. Like, comment, and subscribe. So he's not starting at one up. No. He's not starting one up. He's just like a loyal fan. He's a loyal fan. Ensman TV said Redbird big up. Ensman also says KLFC big up. Redman says keep your level big up, bro. KLFC says Ensman TV bless up, bro. And Ensman just replies back, Ravenite FC big up. So you know quite a bit about sort of like obviously the footballing aspects of things. You know what I mean? The rehabilitation at the end of the day in that.
Oh yeah.
Now, I saw you on Coppish at one time. That's how I got to know you on Coppish and everything. Because you always used to come on Coppish and you used to light up. You light up. You know, think that right? You just had beer vibes. You know what I mean? I tell you what, for the time of the day, you used to come on them times. Then when I used to see you, you know what I mean, and you used to come from the time you started and the time you finished and that. It was just laughter for me. It was just laughter for me. I literally used to look forward to that and say, "Yo, it's Chris coming on." You understand me? Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate.
man, it's all good, brother. So, I heard you one time talking about Luis Diaz, sorry, Luis Diaz and everything that, and
Mhm.
his injury. Could you shed some light about that and talk about that situation
Yeah,
with
sure,
Luis
sure.
Diaz?
Okay, so I had to look everywhere for this because so I have a model of the knee and stuff, so I can properly explain
Yeah.
what's going on and stuff like that. Um, so Luis Diaz's first injury was an MCL injury, but didn't require a surgery. Am I correct in that? His
No.
first
Yeah.
injury
Yeah.
didn't require surgery, so he injured the MCL. Um, So that would be if you guys can see here, you got your MCLs right here, which is the largest part compared to the LCL, which is a lot smaller and stuff like that, right? So typically we don't do surgery on the MCL um, if it's not teared, okay? And the reason for that is because there's so much blood flow in this area, and there's no need for surgery.
Mm.
Unless it's a full tear. Okay. So MCL stands for medial collateral ligament. Medial, which means inside, collateral outside, and then ligaments are pretty much tendons, joints that are attached from bone. Okay. So as you can see here, MCL, bone to bone. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. And as you can notice, the MCL is a lot larger than the LCL. Um, the MCL injury is more typical than the LCL injury. Um, so let me start reading my notes and stuff because I prepared some notes so I can,
Yeah. Get in there, bro. I like that. I like that.
Okay, so as you can notice with the model here, um, the MCL right here, um, it's connected to so right here, this middle disc. If you see this disc right here,
Yeah.
this is the meniscus. Okay, so typically when you injured your MCL, there is some typically. I'm not saying there is because I don't want to make it seem like I'm accusing
Mm.
um, the club or accusing malpractice because I don't want to
Yeah.
get into that because But typically when you injure the MCL, there is some damage to the meniscus and the ACL
Mm.
because the meniscus has some connection. The MCL has some connections to the meniscus and the ACL. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. Okay. All right. So typically, what happens with the injury, um, or what we call is MOI, which is the mechanics of injury. Typically, you think of, let's say, for example, I'm American, so we think of like American football. Let's say, for example, and you have a 300-pound linebacker that um, tackles you, right? So, for example, what happens is, let's say, for example, someone hits you here on this side.
Mm.
What is going to cause the need to do this? So at this point, you see the stretching going on right here.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay. So what that does is the knee, what the MCL is doing is trying to protect it. But when you have so much force, the knee or the ligament can only take so much, and what it causes, it's pretty much causes to tear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Um.
when they talk. Sorry to cut across you. That's when they talk about ligament tear, don't they? They said like the
Yeah,
person
yeah,
had a
yeah.
ligament tear.
Because yeah, so the MCL is a ligament. Um.
Yeah.
So that's typically what happens and stuff like that. But then if you want to go deep into it, there's like micro tears that happens through like a long period of time as well. So it can be like underlying issues and stuff like that. So yeah. But the good thing about the MCL is that most of the time it doesn't require um, Surgery, because of so much blood flow that goes through that part of the ligament, you don't need surgery unless it's a full tear. Okay, it can be a partial tear, but typically we don't go in and do surgery and stuff like that because there's so much good blood flow. The LCL is completely different, and it's a lot smaller, as you can see. It's a lot smaller, and I think if I'm correct, I think compared to injuries, I think in statistics in the United States, um, I think it's 70% of the athletes get an MCL in compared to the LCL. So the MCL is a more typical um, injury out here in the States and stuff like that. And which I am a little bit confused about is because when we're taught out here is when we talk out here, when we're taught out here is when you go, let's say, for example, to check if you have an LCL injury. Obviously, you need an MRI because, but there's ways to test to see if there's an injury in your ligament. This is why I'm confused on when I don't know what they're called, but when they run to the field and kind of check and like make that call for substitution, you know what I mean? Like you can tell from that moment if you do a couple of like exercises to see if there's issues and stuff. There's a couple of things where you can test the knee to see and feel, because once the moment you tear a ligament, even by feeling on it, you can tell if there's an issue.
Yeah.
I don't know why Liverpool, or I don't know if it's about transparency or is it about trying to keep the upper hand of the opponent, that we don't release information about the injuries or how long injuries take and stuff, because there's methods to trying to find out at the time if the player is injured or what they have. So I'm just confused in that aspect of stuff. So yeah. So I don't know if you guys have any questions or
Now, what it is, I was going to ask today. Luis Diaz injury itself, and if I don't know. Obviously, I don't want to put you on the spot on that. Do you know what I mean? But his chances of recovery in the day, what percentage is his chance of recovery in getting back to that sort of player at the day, that sort of like that he was? Because obviously in the day he's a player in the day that builds at the day a lot of his what can I say, a lot of his game on pace, you know what I mean, and running and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? You just run at you, get at you in the day, and sort of like cut in and take a shot. Do you know what I mean? How would this kind of injury? Because like to me, in the day, it looks like in the day was a bad injury that he had. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. How do you reckon it's going to affect him in the long run?
Okay, so if we were talking maybe like 10 years, 20 years ago, I would say it's serious, right? Because the science has developed and has improved over the years. But what we have to understand is, for example, like the model right here, MCL is here, the LCL is here. He's injured both. Two different sides. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, apparently, he injured his LCL in training, if I'm correct, right? I don't know the facts or whatever. I wasn't there, but most of these ligament tears are made from contact, valgus force. So valgus force meaning inside to outside. So that means I don't know what happened during training that his LCL went. You know what I mean? And the reason why he got surgery in his LCL is because, as you can see, it's so small. And once it tears, it's gone. There's no sewing back. There's no nothing. So you have to harvest harvest a tendon from your people, typically hamstring or whatever, and replace it.
Yeah.
So um, now, will I say will he get back to normal? I would hope so. Um, but then Liverpool hasn't really inspired us to support them in regards to their medical team. You know,
Mhm.
if if you look at, for example, there's been a stat that came out, I think a week ago, when when Konate got injured. You know, you got 17 hamstring injuries in the past 6 months.
Mm.
I'm no expert, you know what I mean? That's a lot. I think
Yeah.
average per season is 5.
Yeah.
We have 17 in the past 6 months, you know, and the hamstring is a bit more tedious in regards to, it's like, I said it in Coppage the other day. It's like a cold. It goes and they come back again. It's a once you start getting hamstring injuries, the chances of you not getting one again is very slim.
Mm.
Now it's all about managing. Um, it's all about managing. So yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. I know there's an article that came out the other day about the head physio uh, and how he has too much power. People don't like working with him or whatever.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And what kind of gets me annoyed in that area is the fact of, what more power do you need as a head physio? Your job is to make sure the players recover, they rehab
Yeah.
well, they eat well. That's your job. What more power do
Yeah.
you need?
You don't need any more than that. You don't need any more than that.
So yeah, it's very, I don't know. I don't know. Like what I am worried about is the fact of Luis Diaz might be rushed back. Um, I don't want him to rush back. And typically, I think that's biased for me because I'm Colombian. So
Mhm.
we as a nation, footballing nation right now, Colombia, we're not too good. Luis Diaz is our shining light. Um,
Yeah. You've had some ballers in the past, though.
oh, of course, but and I think just to sidetrack a bit from the medical stuff, but in
Yeah.
2014, the World Cup for me, 2014 was, to me, as a countryman, was the best. I had so much fun
Yeah.
um, watching Colombia. Well, when James was James, when,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we had a team that I think um, we were gonna go up a level, and then we faced England in 2018, and you know,
Yeah.
and then from there we never took a step forward. And I think a lot of the issues in Colombia as well, there's too much corruption in the game as well. So
Yeah.
too much politics and people getting cocky, and
Yeah.
but Luis Diaz right now is our shining light. He did well in the Copa America for us. He was our top scorer.
Yeah.
He was our top
Yeah.
scorer in the tournament. So yeah, I have a lot of love for him. I have actually met him in person. Um,
Seriously.
yeah, yeah, I met him when he used to play in juniors in Colombia. He was
Okay.
he wasn't as big as a star he is now, but I did meet him because he's part of a small village in Colombia called Barrancas. So
Yeah.
I did meet him. I wouldn't say he's like my best friend or nothing like that, but if we were to see each other, we would know each other and stuff.
Yes. 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 I get you. I get
Yeah,
you. I get you. But he
yeah.
came from a part of if I'm not mistaken, if he came from part of Colombian and they that was poverty when it was
Oh
we
yeah, yeah.
took with poverty in that, and he was
Uh,
malnourished as a youngster, wasn't
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So he's from a very small village, a very village of indigenous people. I'm gonna
he?
say
Right.
that.
Right.
So
Right.
what we call pretty much out here in America Native Americans, very indigenous
Yeah.
people. We he's indigenous in
Yeah.
in Colombia and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a very now it's not as bad as it was before, but it was
Yeah.
very it's very poor. It's very, a lot of kids pass away through malnourishment. It's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
that it's very that poor and stuff like that. And funny story about him is there was a tournament, and they made for indigenous people, so all tribes in Colombia of indigenous people were invited to a tournament hosted by El Pibe Banderrama, Carlos Banderrama and stuff. And Banderrama took a liking to Luis Diaz because of his pace, his trickery, and he brought him to juniors for a trial. Junior said he was too skinny.
Yes, yes.
We can't take him; he's too skinny, and they had to bulk him up through drinking inshore. That was his diet. It was breakfast, lunch, and dinner was inshore.
See,
And yeah, they signed him. His first club was Barranquilla, which is like a second tier of juniors, and then he got promoted to juniors, and then from there he went to Porto and stuff. And even from what I know, I think even when he went to Porto, he was still considered malnourished. So
yeah.
So you have, how old was he when he went to to Porto? I'm not sure. I think it was like 21, 22. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you have from your birth to your 22 being now malnourished. You know, your bone density is different, and
Yes.
you know, I mean, all that stuff is different and stuff. And you're gonna pick up niggles. But what's surprising about Luis Diaz is he never really had bad injuries. If you look at his injury record, this is his first bad injury. So how his body recovers, we'll see how it goes and stuff. So
you know that sort of like I think that's one of the things that kind of worries me because he's got that sort of like history of being malnourished. Is how does his body resets properly, or do you know what I mean?
So
I think
the other day, I think Uncle Albert came on. He was talking about because he's Ghanaian, so he talked about Thomas Partey. And Thomas Partey had the same issue. He was malnourished, but you see Thomas Partey's always getting those little niggles, those little injuries and stuff like that. So yeah, being malnourished doesn't help the body and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, we'll see. And I think the other day I kind of got a little bit upset with the brothers in Coppish and stuff. I think Drifty's very passionate and stuff, but it was about how he was saying Partey was the reason Luis Diaz's injury and the reason why he's out for so long, right? Yeah, for the MCL, but the LCL is a completely different ball game and stuff. So I blame the LCL injury on the sports team. There was no need for him to rush back, in my opinion, especially especially if the plan was always to get Gakpo. If that was the guy that we were gonna get, there was no reason for him to be in the summer training in Dubai. I didn't see the point of it, in my opinion. But
no, I never see it. I never see them. I never saw the point in that. And the thing is about it, I think the reason why they got back Gakpo is because they know they're messed up in bringing him back so quick. Do you know what I mean? Look what happened.
Yeah, it's upsetting and stuff. I know, like the news outlets in Colombia aren't really too happy with Liverpool right now and stuff. So, you know,
you wouldn't be, would you? Really? Evening, Rob. Okay, Quartar is injured apparently.
What injury does he have?
I don't know. Let us know what injury does Quartar have. I'm just gonna obviously just buzz through these obviously these comments and that, and if I see the questions that they obviously I ask still. Do you know what I mean? But like if you was part of the medical staff of
I would get fired. I'll say that now because like I spoke in the beginning of what I've done in my life and what I'm trying to accomplish in life and trying to, like, I guess in a way redeem myself. And the way I see things too, I think I see life as black and white. I don't see things as a gray area. I think being in the military, I think there's no such thing as a gray area, in my opinion. That's just me, you know. But if I see, I guess as a businessman, I don't know if anyone here is an accounting or a business person or knows numbers. The players are assets, whether we like it or not. They are assets, and they hold value. But if you rush
Yeah.
players back, if you send them out to get re-injured, if you're not giving them the right nutrition or the right individual plans to recover, they diminish in value. So
Mm.
I know apparently there was an article, or there's a, I guess Twitter. I wouldn't say article, but there's Twitters about a lot of Liverpool players playing in the red zone. Red zone meaning they're in their need of rest.
Mm.
Okay, so uh, and that happens a lot in Liverpool. And who do we blame for that? You know, and I wouldn't say blame, but who do we call out on that? Because,
Mm.
for example, um, Klopp likes a small squad. We've all known this for years. In every club he's been with, he likes a small squad.
Mm.
So typically, players for him, um, a lot of his players are in the red zone because of him liking a small squad.
Yeah.
You know, and it's unfortunate. Now, for example, last season when we had a decent squad, we had a decent bench. There wasn't really that much injuries per se, if I'm correct. If anyone can tell me if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's okay. But I think last season the injuries weren't that as bad as it's ever been. Why? Because there was rotation. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the issue is in for an institution like Liverpool to be so far behind on the medical side of it. I guess in a way,
Mm. Mm.
um, it's just sad to see. Um,
It is.
it's just sad to see, because I think as fans we get attached to players as well. You know, as much as people
Yeah.
are attached to Klopp for what he's done, we as fans are attached to our players as well for
Yeah.
the joy they bring us and stuff. And it just hurts to see um, our players not out in the field where they should be. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
for example, like fans, international fans that go into Anfield or go out there to go see their players play, and they're not there, because of an injury. You know,
Yeah.
I added up the numbers. 70% of our injuries come from training. You know, that's a lot of injuries during training.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what has to be done. I don't know how to solve. I don't know how to solve it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
especially I know Uncle Albert came on. He said pretty much Klopp said that training is his way of getting better. You
Yeah. But
know,
he's running too hard into the ground though.
you know what I mean. So I think yeah, I don't know how we're gonna get out of it. I think I read somewhere on the chat that Harvey Elliott got injured in training as well, just recently apparently, or something like that. So
Mm.
so now
And
now I know people are I guess in the fence in regards to Harvey Elliott, his development and how good of a player he is, but that's another body that we might not
yeah.
have, just in case we need him.
Yeah,
So
we're running paper thin as it is. LSE Aaron answers this question. He says, Chris, in your opinion, will Diaz play again this season?
okay, so like I said before, like because I'm Colombian, right? So I'm a little bit more biased. I don't want him to play and stuff. One, for the prolongest of my nation that sucks, and
Yeah.
for we need him. But so apparently I heard he's out running, right?
Right. Okay.
He's out running. So I think I went on Copish and stuff like that and explained that February he should be doing physical therapy. Now physical therapy does involve running. I know he posted up a video in January which kind of like worried me about him kind of doing some things on the
Like
Liverpool,
steps, innit? Steps, sort of like, innit? Steps and
which
stuff.
was
Yeah.
which is a bit worrying for me in a way.
Yeah.
Now let's make this clear. Everyone recovers differently, right? So
Yeah.
I know typically it says 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Certain people recover faster. Now I know there's cases out here that there's people that recover from ACL injury in like 2 months. Now that's a rare case. There's more bad cases than good cases, but you know, Hopefully, Luis Diaz is on the end of recovering fast. But like I said, because of his malnourishment, I wouldn't rush him back. There's no reason to,
Mm.
and that's when we talk about what are we going to do this season? What are our accomplishments? What are we going to achieve? Right now, it doesn't look like we're going to achieve anything. So what's the point of rushing anyone back?
Mm.
At this point, we should be we should be establishing new formations or bringing in younger players and embedding them in and doing all that stuff. But that's not my field. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him to. But honestly, it looks like he might be back in March. Like they said that he was going to be back, which I don't agree with. But it looks like he might be back in March because the time frame and him running outside, it looks like they want him back by March. So
rescue their season, innit? They want to rescue the season. I think Dico says, is it similar to when clean ankle breaks? It's better than just a minor one. I think he's just talking about the similarities between obviously what happens with the knee and the ankle, sort of like that's what I can get from this one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Another thing we gotta talk about too is the fact of like there's a phobia typically when you because people forget about the mental side of the game as well, and of the fact of players not wanting to get re-injured.
Yeah.
So, that's something we have to deal with as well. And do we have the staff in place to mentally help him recover as well?
Facts.
And I think and I don't know if we have any South Americans in the chat or whatever, but South American players are very tenacious players. We run like Energizer bunnies. We don't stop running, and I think the coaching staff have to protect him from himself. I think as well. Like we look at Nunes, whether people agree with him or not, he runs and he runs and he runs. It's just it's just a thing that we as South Americans do. We like to prove ourselves. That's what we like to do. So if Luis Diaz comes back this season, it's about protecting him as well. It's about rotation and stuff like that. So we'll see. And I think a field that people don't really talk about a lot. It gets looked down upon is nutrition. So hopefully they have a nutrition plan for him. Because I know one of the video that he did the steppings and stuff. He lost some kilos on him. He lost some weight on him. So hopefully he gains some weight and stuff. So
yeah, I hope so as well. KLFC says, question for Chris: do you think Lucho was rushed back?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. If someone can find out the day Luis Diaz got injured against Arsenal, they'll be kindly helped and stuff, because I remember mentioning it in college, but I'm not sure if I did, or maybe it was just mentally and stuff like that. I had so much stuff running in my head.
I can't think which one. Was it October?
I'm not sure because I'm not sure, but I remember the day of. I think the day he got injured. A couple of days later, it was a live. It was the Friday nights in Coppers, and I went on, and I was really upset because that Friday was supposed to be technically the day he came back, or whatever, apparently, but he got injured a couple of days before. Now this is my question, right?
Sorry to go, because it's 9th of October.
9th of October. So
9th of October.
And then he got re-injured when?
It was in because it was in the October. When the World Cup was on, wasn't it? When the World Cup was on.
October 8th, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. And when did he? It looks like October 10th he got injured. Okay, and then when did he get? Do you remember when he got re-injured? in December.
It was.
So it's about 8 weeks, right? Is it
Yeah, it's
about
about 8 weeks because I think what it was like I'm sure it was the beginning of the World Cup, like in the group stages he
so it
got
was like
injured.
so it was like 8 weeks.
Yeah,
Okay. So like I said, the LCL, so these ligaments tears and damage come from impact.
yeah.
Okay. So what did he do? Like, so I'll ask you guys. So I'll ask any of you, right? So what did he have to do in training for his knee to do this?
Exactly, man.
So and it's not to like start a conspiracy or whatever, but I want to ask, like what did the knee have to do in training where he shouldn't be doing contact training? He should have
Yeah,
been he should have been done in individual training. Why did his knee do this? Why did
literally just
why did his knee do that? That it completely
uh,
snapped.
yeah, literally just snapped. It literally
Right,
snapped,
so
didn't
he
it?
has to do surgery, so his ligament teared up.
Yeah.
So
I would like to know.
you got
I would love to know, Chris. I would love to know.
so and it's
Well, that,
and it's not and I think why
mm.
fans are so frustrated is because there's no clarity.
Yeah, exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly, exactly. What's your thoughts on this, Chris? I don't know if you know about this. Thoughts on the injury VVD picked up at Everton a couple of seasons ago? Because I think it was a similar like Luis Diaz, you know.
Thoughts like in regards to did he recover? So the thing with the ACL is all right. So all right. So for athletes, right, the Achilles of injuries, like the injuries that you never want to have, is the
Yeah,
ACL and the Achilles injury. So ACL and
yeah,
Achilles are injuries that um players don't want to have, people don't want to deal with because they're injuries that change your career. Now has Van Dyke recovered from his injury 100%? No, and I say this
yeah,
why because anyone can see it. Van Dyke's not the same. His pace is not the same. Now, um, is it because of malpractice or is it because of they rushed him back or whatever? No. Typically, an ACL injury does alter players. Does alter players. Does change players on how they play and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just unfortunate that he got it and stuff. So
I don't think he's fully recovered from it, and I
and
think
he,
that's
he
what I
he's
say
he's
about.
he's out on a hamstring right now.
Yes, yes, yes. He's out for 6 weeks.
Apparently it's his first hamstring injury in his footballing career. Is his first hamstring injury at
Yeah,
like
it is.
at like 31. So now it's more about managing now. Like
Mm,
I know there's a study out here where the older you get an injury, it depends on how recurring it happens.
mm,
So he's getting it at 31 or I don't know how old is it, but there might be a chance that he'll get it again. So it's all about
yeah,
managing him and stuff like that. And low key, we should actually be thinking about bringing another center back in just to like have or just for rotation and substitution and minutes and reduce of minutes. But who am I to like?
they've got one. The thing is, Chris, they've got one there. They've got Nat Phillips. They can play. They could play Nat Phillips. Do you know what I mean? But they choose not to. They choose not to do
All
it
right,
because
so I
really
like
could not buy one.
I like Nat Phillips, but I like Nat Phillips. I do as a player. My son loves him and stuff. That's his favorite player. I don't know why, but he likes Nat Phillips or whatever. Um, but because we play this high line,
Yeah,
I just don't see Nat Phillips working, in my opinion. If we play a low block, then yes, of course, put Nat Phillips in. But playing this high line, I just don't see how Nat Phillips will work. in my opinion. But I'm not a tactician, so I don't know. Klopp will have to change his tactics for Nat Phillips to work. I would say go to a back three, but then that's a other conversation for another day. We don't have enough center backs for that, so.
But you know something, Chris? Yeah, what I'm saying is having that centre back there, and obviously you can play him, but because he doesn't play him in the day, I don't think he goes out and gets another centre back. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, because as much as that Phillips is probably not as good as the rest, he still does that job. Does that job for you. He still gets head on the ball, and he does that job for you that you need to be done. Really. Do you know what I mean? And if you still got players at your disposal that you can play, do you know what I mean? It's like, why aren't you paying them? But obviously that's another thing for another time. Do you know what I mean? What's this one here?
So I kind of want to ask. I want to ask the fans or the people in the chat and stuff a question. Now, you're right. We should be using Nat Phillips because Gomez isn't. Gomez is out here. Not to be disrespectful to Gomez, out there twerking and stuff against Matoma and stuff like that. But
Cardi G, man, he's on some Cardi G thing, man.
I know all about Cardi G and stuff, but I don't know the academy. I don't know the Liverpool academy. Is there not a player in the academy that will do a job? Is there anyone? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I think and things that people don't talk about, our academy is not good. We're not producing no talent. I think the last talent we produced that actually is a talent is
Trent. Trent, isn't it? It's Trent. I mean, they got that kid. Was it Billy Kimetio and?
But is he from? Like, did we buy him in, or is he from Liverpool? Like, is he produced from Liverpool? I view things.
No, we bought him for the academy. Yeah,
so he's not. So Reece James.
He's not somebody that's come through. He's not somebody that's come through the academy. Put that way, he's not somebody that's come up through the academy.
No,
what do you think of this?
I'm laughing at Michael and stuff. He said Reece Williams. I'm like, no.
What do you think of this? What do you think of this? This one here for this question here. I got up. Do you want to answer that one there?
Groin injuries on the whole. Thoughts on groin injuries? Groin injuries are so tedious though, because like groin injuries can happen. Like 6 months ago, I got a groin injury because I woke up and I went down the stairs and I got a groin injury. Like, it's just a very tedious, very but I think Liverpool but to talk about Liverpool and stuff, I think Liverpool has a lot of muscle injuries. Our players get so much muscle injury. I think a lot of injuries have to do with fatigue, man, and let no one ever tell you otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get into the mechanics of the anatomy of the body because we'll be here forever and stuff. We'll be like 10 hours in here.
I know it is.
But the body, when it's fatigued, the muscles tighten up. Like, there's so much stuff that happens when the body's tired that it overcompensates one side, or like the body is it's a mysterious thing, but yeah, at the same time, it's so beautiful in regards to like its anatomy and stuff. But was there a question? Was there another question?
Yeah, this question here.
Question. I have not seen the pictures, man. I really haven't. Because that's like, there's a picture. There was a thing in Coppers that said that Luis Diaz is outside running. There's a video of him. I can find that video nowhere. So I don't know if it's true or not. But you're saying, why is it seeing pictures of Luis Diaz's upper body strength? That's a Colombian thing, man. We just like to look good up top and stuff, and the bottom. But no, I don't agree with it. I think even now, if you go to the gym, you see people that don't know how to work out. You see people that want to have all the upper body strength, but their legs look all scrawny and stuff. You know, there has to be a balance. And I think if Liverpool's letting him do that, then who am I to question? Because I don't want to get into the field of like being called for malpractice or calling someone for malpractice and stuff like that. But you don't have to be an expert in the field to have common knowledge. You know what I mean? I suggest everyone to like, and I think the beautiful thing about the human being or the human mind is just having wanting to have answers, wanting to learn. And I think it's the best thing we can all do is just wanting to learn and want answers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So.
NSC Aaron says, why are we getting so many injuries?
Aaron, why do you think so? Why do you think so? Like, and why does the chat think so? So,
yeah.
Well, why?
I know why.
Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation because you know what I mean. Just to understand where people are at, and I think, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my opinion on why we get someone's injuries, but that might not obviously coincide with other people's opinions. So yeah, man, let's have this conversation. Why you think at the end of the day we get someone's injuries? Personally, my opinion is I think we do too much in training.
Do you
know what I mean? Double training and stuff like that.
So training,
too much of the body.
So training is one, right? You think favoritism is another one?
Yeah.
So overtraining and favoritism. Now, not to accuse anyone, but then whose fault is that? Because at the end of the day, let's say for example, it is Klopp, let's say, or it's Pep Linders. Klopp and Pep Linders are one. So to sit there and blame just Pep Linders, I just don't agree with that. I think Klopp is enabling him to do the choices or to run training. Yeah. He's okay with it. So that's one, right? So if Klopp is okay with it, then he is, in a way, as a business person or anyone as a businessman here or does numbers or accounting, he's destroying Liverpool's assets. You know what I mean? So he's destroying our assets. Now, for example, let's say, next year we sell Luis Diaz, for example. Let's say, for example, his value now is down than it is up high.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know. And then another person that we haven't really spoke about is Diego Jota and stuff.
Exactly. Because he seems to get a lot of injuries, man.
He gets a lot of hamstring and calf injuries.
Yeah.
And that to me, that to me is that's a reoccurring injury. It's completely different than impact injuries. Now, if you ask me what's worse, impact injuries or non-impact injuries, what would you think?
So if you actually what? Say it again. Sorry.
So if I ask you what would you think is worse, impact injuries or non-impact injuries? Impact
injuries, yeah.
I think non-impact injuries, because non-impact injuries would necessarily mean there's an ongoing issue. There was always an underlying issue going on.
Yes. Yeah. I get you now.
You can explain an impact injury. You can explain that, right?
Yeah.
If someone doesn't have the knowledge of an injury or understands the anatomy, an impact injury, you can explain that, okay, he got injured because he got hit. A non-impact injury is like, oh, what the hell just happened? What's going on? What's wrong with his muscle fibers? Is he eating right?
Facts.
You know what I mean? All this stuff comes into play and stuff. And that's why ACL and Achilles, the ACL is the worst injury, in my opinion, because it's non-contact. So, yes, this question for Chris: who wins in a 100 meter?
Which one's that?
It's Michael. He says, "Who wins in a 100-meter race? That Phillips or Fabinho?"
Question thoughts on style of football Klopp plays that has an effect on players at Liverpool? Do you think that does?
Wait, question that. Well, can you go back on
Oh,
the
sorry. Let me go back to. There you go.
thoughts on the style of football play? All right, so I don't know if you guys know. There's this guy. He's from Holland. He's like a coach or something like that or whatever. But every once in a while, he writes an article against Klopp about injuries. I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about, but there's this guy that talks about like Klopp's style of play causes injuries to happen. I don't know the name of the journalist. I don't know the name of the guy. But he's always criticizing Klopp in regards to his way of training and stuff.
Is it James Pearce?
No, not James Pearce. It's someone from Holland, I think.
Okay. I don't know,
Yeah, there's a guy that like he criticizes him like every other year or something like that about Liverpool's injuries or all this stuff. Do I think he has a part of it? Yes, but it's all about balancing and training regimes and nutrition and like the season we won the title or the season we won the Champions League, there wasn't really injuries per se. Is it because we had the right people in place? Is it because we had the right plan, the right individual plans, the right nutrition plans? Maybe. But then if we're at that peak, when we come to medically, I'm not talking footballing wise, but we're talking peak medical, then why did it go downhill from there?
Yeah.
I think the year we won the Champions League, if someone could find out his name, there was a medical guy that left. He went to work for Senegal with Mane and stuff. He was part of their sporting team and stuff, sporting science team.
Was it a brown skin guy? Was it a brown skin guy with glasses?
Yeah, he had glasses and stuff. He had glasses.
He's a brown skin guy, wasn't he? He's a kind of brown skin, wasn't he?
Yeah, he left, and from there,
Yeah, I know the guy talking about.
I don't remember his position or whatever, but
yeah,
from there,
he was good.
We started going downhill and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was actually things, I don't know if it's made up, but apparently someone hit him up on like the DMs or whatever and asked him, "Hey, can you return?" And his word was, I don't know if it's made up because I'm not gonna say it's true or not, but apparently he said, "I will return if things in the club change."
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's true. It's probably a lie or whatever, or a Photoshop or whatever, but it kind of says a lot in regards to the current situation we are in now. So,
So what about this? Uncle Albert asked this question here, man.
You throw me in the fire and stuff. Okay, so medically speaking, no. Right? Medically speaking, no. I'm gonna say this again. Medically speaking, no. But we are all people with common sense. Right?
Yeah.
For example, if the MCL is injured, the body is, like I said, is a beautiful thing. The body will compensate for the strain the MCL is doing. And it will strain other parts of the knee. It's just common knowledge, man. It's just common knowledge. But medically speaking, no. In medical terms, I cannot say it does, but common knowledge wise, you guys have the answer. And I think a lot of the reasons why it happens, the reason why we don't say it does, not to get to politics, but medical insurance and charging people, and I'll just leave it at that and stuff. They revoked my license and stuff, and then I'm out here cursing people out because I don't have work. So
Oh God, that's funny. Funny. I just hope at the end of the day that sort of like they don't rush Luis Diaz back. I would literally at the end of the day.
But that's the thing, guys. That's the thing. What's the point of rushing him back? Now, okay, let's say we beat Real Madrid. Let's say we do, because I'll be very happy we do, but let's say we do. Who will we face in the next round? I'm not sure. But if there's a chance, because at the end of the day, now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this Liverpool takeover. I'm not sure the funds. Every year apparently we have $250 million to spare, but we never waste it. Apparently, we're like next summer FC. It's every next summer. It's next summer and stuff. We're able to spend money. But being in the Champions League brings you money. So the further we go, the better it is for us. So would it be worth it to bring him back if we're further in the competition? Yeah, but I wouldn't want him back in March. I think it's too soon, because you got to think about it too. Inflammation is a thing. So inflammation is a thing, and inflammation isn't something. I don't know if any of you have ever dealt with inflammation in the knee. It's not pleasant. It's not a pleasant feeling. So yeah, I don't know. I'll have him back in April, in my opinion, the earliest.
Yeah.
But then again, the human body is a mysterious thing. So, he might come back full fitness, and we're all here worried about nothing.
Yeah, true.
But like I said, I use the numbers in my science. I use the knowledge I have in my science. I just don't think there's a risk to take at this current moment because of how we're doing this season.
Facts. Here's a question for you, big man.
Question. Thoughts on players recovering when they are back in the team fit again? All right, I'm confused with like the question and stuff like that. Well,
yeah, question on players recovering when they are back in the team fit again, to preventing themselves from getting re-injured. So I think he's talking about sort of like like a person's been out injured, sort of like with hamstring, for instance, and he gets back fit again, right? Your thoughts on like preventing that injury to happen again?
So the hamstring is a bad example, because there's already studies proven hamstrings are reoccurring. They're reoccurring injuries. They will happen again.
Yeah.
So for example, look at for example, the muscles are like a rubber band. And you pull. The first time you pull, it isn't that bad. But if you keep pulling that rubber band and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, the rubber band will snap. And that's the hamstring for you. It's just one of those tedious things that we as people in the field, we just haven't been able to find a cure to stop hamstrings from happening. So.
Uncle Albert says, thank you, Chris. Most players will get CL injuries, don't come back the same. I would even want him to come back as a midfielder. I think he's talking about Luis Diaz.
Okay, so Luis Diaz throughout his career has been more proficient in a 4-4-2. Left side of midfield. Is that what you're talking about, Uncle Albert? Are you talking about like putting him like in left midfield, like left side of midfield? If that's the case, I'm okay with it. But playing him in like an 8 or a 6 or something like that, I don't see it happening. But I think in my opinion, I'm not like I said, I'm not an expert in that field, but I think after you reach a certain age, certain players can't reinvent themselves. Now, there's rare cases like Mane that has the footballing brain to reinvent himself to a 9. But yeah, I don't think left side of midfield. Yeah, I agree, Albert. I do agree, because I've seen him there. Even from my country, he plays on the left side of midfield on a 4-4-2. So, but I think the issue, if we're gonna go 4-4-2, we need 2 workhorse midfielders. But that's a conversation for another day and stuff, because I don't want people to I know people are probably disappointed about yesterday and stuff. I want to ask you guys a side question. because I watched the game a bit before my wife told me to turn it off because I was upset and stuff. Um, the first 15 minutes of the game against Wolves was I know a lot of fans were hurt. I know a lot of fans were depressed. I know a lot of fans were surprised. Um, we played very bad on the first half. The first half. And I'm not going to criticize the players and stuff like that because at this point I think it's more mental than it is physical now. At this point, halftime comes in, no changes are needed. No changes happened after halftime, but Liverpool started playing better, if I'm correct, like the first 15 minutes of the second half. Why do you think they started playing better at the second half? And if it was because Klopp went and yelled at them, why does it take grown men to be yelled at to play better?
Exactly. And even then, even then in the day, right? Just to say, even then, was it what Chris looks like? Singer, John Legend, lots of love, big up Craig.
I wish I had his money. Shit.
Yeah, for real. Even that now, big man, still right, big man thing. Even when they come out and they started to sort of like play and what I mean, we thought they were playing better. You know what I mean? It just after a while, it just went back to what we were doing in the first half. I think to me in the day, as I said on my other show, and think that the other show that I was doing, I was saying that they sort of like there's nothing coming from midfield, nothing coming from midfield to the strikers, and the defense at the day, all over the place. The team is in disarray. The actual team is in disarray. So yes, they can probably play good for about 10 minutes and everything that, but then they'll just go back to what they was doing before.
Do you
understand me?
Do you think because I think also managers don't last as long as Klopp has anymore.
Yeah.
No, that's a thing of the past. And I think now people aren't built the way they were 20 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They're not. You know me, I cannot talk to my kids now how my parents talked to me back in the day.
Yeah.
You can't. Like you can't whether we want to or not, whether you do or not, you just can't. Do you feel players are just tired of hearing Klopp?
I think so. I think what is it in day?
And that's nothing against Klopp. There's nothing against Klopp.
No.
It's just basic mental psychology. If you're getting the same repetitive message over and over again.
Yeah.
As a grown man. Now you understand as a kid, maybe if you're telling your kids do it or keep doing it or whatever, yeah, okay. But after you're at a certain age, I think I don't know. I think a change is needed, a different voice, whether it's a new assistant manager, whether it's someone, a footballing brain, another footballing brain, or I think you got to think about it too. Players get tired of not winning.
I'll answer that question in a minute still. Gary Morgan, NFC, thank you. I think you're a new subscriber. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button still. Do you know what I mean? And let me know if you're a new subscriber as well. This question that you asked, I want to see a protest outside Anfield FSG out. Would you agree? I'm not going to answer that question, not because I don't want to. I do want to ask questions.
I'll answer it.
No, but hold on. I was just thinking. I mean, I can answer it still. You know what I mean? But just thinking because we talk about the medical side, I can answer it. I would love to see a protest outside. I would love to see a protest outside Anfield. Then we know we mean business.
No, but
all right, then go on then.
What will be the Gary? What will be the purpose of the protest in your opinion? What would it be for? Because I think right now, as a Liverpool fan base, we are divided. So we all have to be in the same mindset for a protest to happen.
Yeah.
Why hasn't a protest happened already? And I think why? Because people aren't on the same page, or people are okay with how things are, or people have hope that things will change. Um, and until we all are in one mind, which was probably will never happen, I don't see a
Mm.
protest happening.
Yeah, yeah,
That's just my opinion. But if I wouldn't say um, I want to protest, but it will have to be for the right cause. It will have to be for um, wanting a change or wanting something better. But we will all have to be in the same page, and I think that will never happen. I think we are too divided as a fan base, and I think a lot of people are blinded by love of certain people in the club, certain players in the club. Um, yeah, and I think people aren't open minded anymore. Um, People are too rigid in the way they think. Um,
mm.
but until that happens, until that we are of one mind, I don't think a protest is the right thing, because a protest could lead to violence as well if people don't agree with
Yeah,
you. You
yeah,
know, so
yeah.
that's just my thought on it. I don't know if I answer your question, but that's just my opinion of it. So
There's all different aspects of it. It's Paul Smith says, unpopular opinion, incomings prediction this year ago after we won the title and didn't take the opportunity to consolidate and build a dynasty by signing to refresh the squad. Facts.
so I
Facts,
think
Paul Smith.
just to touch on that on Paul.
Well, 1 second, 1 second. Can
Go
you
ahead.
touch on it? You touch on it, yeah. I've just got to go and do something downstairs, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes. So keep on
Yeah,
talking.
yeah, go ahead. So Paul, the moment we won the Champions League that summer, we should have reinforced, but we didn't. And no one can tell me there wasn't funds, because we won the Champions League and we placed second. So I don't know, number wise, guys, how much we earned from winning the Champions League. I don't know how much we earned for placing second. But we had money and we didn't reinvest. I don't know if we were paying off the a stand or whatever we were paying off. I don't know if we were, but we should have reinforced then. But we didn't. So I don't know why, but I do agree we should have reinforced the squad at that time. Um, or someone young, someone that was that needed years in to develop to the player we needed at this current moment. Um, yeah, so it's unfortunate, but yeah, I do agree with you, Paul.
Yeah. All right, Edsman TV, boy. This was 5:30. We got out of breath there, as far back as 2016. Graham Souness complained that Klopp's training was inappropriate because the players were getting injured. That is that this was after Lovren, Colatori, and Coutinho went off against Stoke.
So let's talk about I don't want to be rude or disrespectful, but dinosaurs of the game, right? Like older people of the game, I guess, managers and all that stuff. For example, there's videos out of like Conte, his training methods, and how those players were like. There's videos of them like throwing up, breaking down, um, trying to get them fit for the season, and I don't think that way works anymore. I'm
Yeah,
talking about training wise. I think the science is so advanced now that there's ways to train the body to get fit without doing double triple sessions. In my opinion, there are ways. Um, so that's just my opinion and stuff. So.
hmm.
And this other thing too, I think Tottenham as well has an injury crisis as well, right?
Only a few. I don't think they got a lot. I don't think they got a lot. By the end of the match, Lucas Leiva was the centre back. Yeah, I remember that game because
Yeah, I
Joe
remember
Gomez, Sacco, Skirtle were all injured. This thing is ongoing, and I'm sure the players are just tired of getting injured. Yeah, I think what it is at the end of the day is what the guy, what Paul Smith said, and what Paul Smith said. I think there comes a time, and I think that you have to refresh the team, because what you're then doing then, yeah, is just you pumping out the same message to the same players and the same players, and they are going to get fed up. They are going to get fed up, and it's going to be like repetitive. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I think if you got your message to like new players, oh, I haven't heard this one before, so I'll try it. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just a bit kind of like I'm disappointed at the day that there was a time at the day that we could have had dominance. We could have had dominance, really. We could have had dominance, but we never took the chance. Do you know what I mean? We never took the chance of having that dominance that can kick on and actually win things consecutively. I don't know what you feel.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Because he's creative and hard to think. I mean, I just think at the end of the day, with the injuries at the end of the day, right? To me, at the end of the day, where do we go for it? I humbly disagree. Players reinvent themselves all the time in various sports, football included.
So I agree, but I'm not sure if I was clear. But I said certain players can, certain players can't.
Yeah.
Now, for example, you look at for a player as young as Curtis Jones hasn't been able to reinvent himself.
Mm,
That has nothing to do with his physical ability. It's all mental, in my opinion. So
mm. Okay. Liverpool 12th man says Anfield Uncle Rodz hot take. I think Redbird is going to go in for more investment, and those funds will fund Jude, and then also be the money to do a raid on overstocked Chelsea. What do you
I
think about that?
I don't I don't agree. The last time Redbird made an investment like that, they bought a hockey team. So right now, the rumors out here in the states is that they want to buy an NBA team. So
Yeah,
Uh, if Red Bull is going to give them money, I don't know. They might just do the same thing and invest into buying an NBA team.
yeah,
But we'll
yeah.
see. If they do that, then that's great for us, right? So, but there aren't signs of FSG helping us financially, right? But then
Mm,
again,
mm,
you got to think about it like this as well. Like we all sit here and blame FSG, but then again, has Klopp made the right signings?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so
yeah.
they're both to blame as well, in my opinion.
Your thoughts on head injuries?
Like contusions and stuff.
Yeah, I think yeah, let's give it
Uh,
something like that.
so uh, I'm not a neurologist and stuff, so I can't really speak of
Yeah,
head injuries like that. I can speak of head fractures, if that's what you mean, and stuff.
yeah.
Um, I know there's a new law. Well, not a law, but there's a new thing out here. Because I'm actually getting my coaching license out here in the states and stuff, so I can teach.
Okay.
So I can teach kids from the age of 10 to 13.
Mm,
It's expensive out here to get that. I might not continue and stuff because um, they charge you an arm and a leg to get your licensing out here. Um, but apparently, from the age of you cannot head the ball until the age of 15 in the United States. So
oh yes.
so it's really a big thing out here and stuff like that. So I don't know how it is out there in England and stuff in regards to like kids and stuff, but I know out
They're
here that
talking about bringing that over. They're talking
yeah,
about bringing that to England.
it's a really big thing because especially when kids aren't fully developed. You don't. Um, I know. Um, in regards to injuries and stuff, you don't want injuries as a kid. They
Yeah,
become things when you get older and stuff. So
yeah. You don't. You know. Albert says Conte's training method are so harsh. His fitness trainer drops dead of heart attack at 61. Wow.
He was probably
Wow.
eating too much. He was probably eating too much pasta and stuff and all that greasy.
Ravioli and shit.
Yeah, all that greasy stuff, man.
I
But
mean,
that's crazy.
I don't want Mason Mount even if he's free. I'll be honest with you. I would take Mason Mount. I would take Mason Mount
I think.
because
Go ahead, Uncle. Go ahead.
like, I was thinking that they sort of like Mason Mount and they would be able to play the 8 because we've got nobody at the moment and they that can play the 8 role. Number 8. Henderson can't do it. You know what I mean? He hasn't got legs to do it. What's it? Harvey Elliott is better as a right winger than at 8. Navigating him for that, you have to keep your eye on him because you don't know when he's going to get injured. So, like, I would probably say, yeah, Mason Mount come in and play the 8. You could do it.
I think we're in a bad predicament now in regards to like the homegrown quota, and we can't be picky nowadays. So in regards to players now, I think especially English talent, like we have so many English players leaving the club. We have 2 guaranteed to leave this summer in regards to Milner and Ox. Obviously, there's talks about contract renewals, but we lose 2. Apparently, Nat Phillips had a deal in January to leave, so that's 3. You know, so we have to bring in English players to build that quota. I think unfortunately, it's not looking good. It's not looking good in regards to
Well, would you take Mason Mount for you?
I see Mason Mount. I see Mason Mount as a 10. I see him as like a second striker in a way.
Yeah.
But I don't really see him a 10. I see him. I think the role, the 10 role from back in the day, from the school days, has died down. I think we need an old school 10 that breaks the line, that opens up a low block. But who does that nowadays? You know what I mean? So.
Liverpool 12 man says it was reported at MSN Guardian, a Sports Illustrated, that they are looking at upping their stake in specifically Liverpool as opposed to their last investment, which was for FSG on the whole.
Okay, that's good. Okay. That'll be great. That'll be great.
I like that. Question: Does comeback from an injury have psychological effect on the players?
Of course. Like, and that's not just for injuries. I think any aspect of life, any experience or any thing you've done causes psychological effect on you. You know, I'm not gonna tell you guys what stuff I done in the military. I struggled when I left the military mentally. You know, so yeah, of course it does. Of course it does.
Okay. KLFC's Mount hasn't played in midfield since Lampard was there. Okay. Mark Gay says a homegrown player we need is Michael Olise. Right. Well, oh, he's good. Have you seen him?
The Crystal Palace kid, right?
Yeah, he's quality, man. Michael Olise is quality. I don't care. He's quality. I'll take him in a heartbeat, my friend. I'm sorry. He is quality. See that free kick he done against Man United?
Nah, I don't. I'm
packed it, blood. You packed it, blood.
I'm starting to stay away from football, to be honest. Like, I think.
No, this was a couple of weeks. This is about 2 weeks ago. This was about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he packed. It was like they was losing 1-0. Yeah. And they got a free kick in the 90th minute. You know what I mean? Like, time added on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And brother, he must have lined up this ball and from that. Yo, he packed it top bin. Packed it top bin. You could have had 2 goalkeepers in there. You weren't saving that, blood. You weren't saving that. Michael East is good. He's good. Very tricky as well. Tricky and pacey.
Oh, he's pacey? Okay, that's good.
Yeah, tricky and pacey. He's very good. it's not his footballing ability. It's the amount of money he's looking for. He wants 300,000 a week. Now sack that man. He ain't coming to Liverpool. Fuck that.
Who wants 300K a week?
Mason Mount, innit?
Oh
Mason Mount
hell
wants 300K a week.
hell no.
I would never give him that. He ain't worth that. Yeah, it's not worth that 300K a week. I'm telling you. One of our problems is money. Salah is being paid. What do you think about that?
You think so? You think it's the players that feel some type of way about it? Do you think it's just him? Do you think it's just like what I think too? I think I'm gonna use an example, right? I think it might not be the correct theory. Um, when I was dating my wife, well, when I was dating my wife at the time, my wife, at the time she wasn't my wife, she was my girlfriend or whatever.
Okay.
I tried my best to get with her. I was I want to say I was obsessed, but I did everything to kind of be with her or whatever. I was lovey dovey. I was, you know what I mean. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, we know that we're there.
yeah, and then when I got married, I took a step back because it's like I achieved it. I did what I had to do, and
Facts.
we as men, we sometimes we compensate. We just take a seat back and yeah, I did what I had to do. I think it's the same concept as people getting a new contract. I think this is probably Mo Salah's, I guess, last big contract, I guess, when you look at it, because by the time he's due for a new contract, he's what, 33, 34. No one's gonna pay him more than £350 a week. So I'm not saying that he's all about the money, but I think we're all human beings at the end of the day. I think he's looking at it as, now I'm getting 350 a week, guaranteed, no incentives. I know before his contract was made of a lot of incentives.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
You know what? You know what it is. Then I think, to me, at the end of the day, I don't think it's to do with the money. I just think at the end of the day, it's the fact that the freaking money ain't there, and he's having a drop in form. I don't think it's money. Because I think if money was there and everything, that he's back, he's balling out. Do you know what I mean? Because Marley was the person in there that made that team tick. They made him tick. Do you know what I mean?
It's been a year. It's been a year. Even when he came back from AFCON, we can sit there and blame him not winning the AFCON to him psychologically. But if that's the case, it's been a year since he hasn't recovered from it psychologically. AFCON ended in January, right? Last year or February?
Yeah, last year.
So psychologically, let's say
it was before the World Cup, wasn't it? It was before the World Cup.
So psychologically, he hasn't recovered from it. So do we have a therapist at Liverpool to help players like that recover from it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like I said, I don't know what the hell's going on at the club and stuff. So,
right. Marque says, he's saying to Uncle Albert, he's got the burst of pace needed for the Premier League football, and he's incredible. He's talking about Mark Ali's.
He's young. He's young, right? He's like really young, right?
Yeah, he's like 21 or something, like 20 or 21. He's quality. Yeah, he's a good quality. Ravi's got a question. How do some players like Salah and Messi stay relatively fit, injury free?
Diet as well. I know. I know if I'm correct, Messi doesn't drink as well. He doesn't drink alcohol as well. I think. I think as well as the lifestyle as well. I think Messi's a very private man as well. He doesn't really go out and do stuff like that. You know what I mean? And Salah, he doesn't drink alcohol. He's not really into. I know he's not. He doesn't eat bread like that. I think nutrition plays a lot of part. Like I said, people don't really talk up nutrition or respect the field. But I think it's such a stuff you eat like could change your life. To be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah. Nature Boy says, what in the fake news is that message? Mason Mount is on a 80 grand a week 5-year deal signed 2020. He does not and never asked for 300k.
Well, that would be a big jump. Like, so how much you think he will ask for though? Like, if he was to
Who?
Mason Mount,
Mason Mount.
how much do you think he will ask for? Wait, 150?
Probably that one. Yeah, probably between that 120, 150. He probably asked for that. You know what I mean? But put it this way, he's gonna want an increase on his team. You know what I mean? If he's getting paid 80 grand a week, 8 grand a week to go up to Liverpool, he's gonna probably want, I'll say, anything between 100 to 150. And it's obviously up to sort of like Liverpool to negotiate that if they think he's sort of like the player that they want. The players are upset. The nearest person is VVD on 220 a week. The pay difference is a reason why Mane left. Mane was on 100k and simply refused to play with that pay difference, which I heard something. I did hear something about that. That Mane was on 90k.
I think his agent came out and said that wasn't true though. His agent has come out and said that he wasn't on like £100,000 or something, but he was getting like incentives though. So
yeah, but I think what it is,
I could be wrong though. Like I think his
no.
agent.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. But what I think, all right, let's say for instance that you're getting 100 grand a week, yeah, he's getting 100 grand a week. I still think at the end of the day, sort of like he wasn't thought as highly as what Salah was. They thought more of Salah than what they did of Mane. Do you understand what I'm getting at? And you could tell that in the day because when it came to giving a pay rise in the day, right? I mean, Salah said he wanted more money and this and that, and he threatened to leave. And Mane said he wanted more money. They concentrate on sort of like on Salah. They said, all right, Salah, we'll give you the money. You can go to sort of like Bayern Munich. And even that now, when he went to Bayern Munich, when Mane went to Bayern Munich, we should have got more money for him. We should have got at least 50 million for him. At least. That is a player there. Do you know what I mean? But they got 35. To me, at the day, there's more willing at the day to let Mane go than what there was to let Salah go. If they really at the day sort of like had their head screwed on, right, what they would have tried to do for that, they would have tried to keep both of them. They would have tried to keep both of them. If they kept both of them, if they kept Mane and they kept Salah, and we brought in Nunes, yo, fam, we'll be cooking.
Yeah,
we'll be cooking right now.
What I hear now, apparently the PSG want Salah, right?
Apparently so. They said something that they wanted to want him for 70 million or something like that. 70 million they was going to pay for him. But apparently I heard as well, I did hear as well, that, do you remember that player Raheem Sterling?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Raheem Sterling, like basically, he went from Liverpool to Man City, and he's with Chelsea now. Apparently, I heard that the day that he wanted to come back to Liverpool. I heard he was trying to push for a move at the day to Liverpool, but he ended up with Chelsea in the end. Do you know what I mean? Mm. And apparently, this summer he's supposed to be trying to push for a move again to come back to Liverpool. Do you know what I mean?
How old is Sterling?
Sterling's about he said 25? 25? 25, between 25 and 27.
I thought he would be like close to like 30 by now. Okay.
No, I don't think he's that. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think he's between 25 and 27.
How is he playing for Chelsea right now? Is he doing it? Like, what is his stats? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, he's scoring a couple of goals. I mean, obviously, he's not spectacular. You know what I mean? I think at the day when he was at Man City, I think that he was back. He was balling out for Man City. One season and they scored about 20 goals. No competition. He was just like banging and banging and banging them. But then obviously at the day, sort of like where I think when Haaland come into the squad, Haaland, and then obviously you had Alvarez, that guy from River Plate.
Mm-hmm.
them two coming in club. But I think what Man City did, they kind of like they put a lot of all their eggs in the basket when it comes to Haaland. Do you know what I mean? Because remember at the day they let go Jesus, Gabriel Jesus. They let go him. They said he can go to Arsenal. They said Sterling can go to Chelsea. And what's the other one? A Ukrainian guy. He went to Chelsea as well. So they kind of pinned a lot of their hopes this season. I think in the day, if Man City don't win the title, I think that it'd be their mistake, because I think what they've done, they pinned a lot of hope, as it were, everything. They pinned a lot of things, everything on Haaland. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, so far in the day, he has scored goals. You can't deny that he has scored goals. You know what I mean? He scored over 25 goals so far.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You know, so he's gonna bang in some goals this season. So, you know, so that it wasn't sort of like it wasn't a bad idea what they've done. But at the end of the day, you should have kept hold of your Sterling and your Gabriel Jesus. That's what I think anyway. There's too much of a change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you remember that they used to play with a number 9, didn't they? They used to play with a number 9.
Yeah.
But now they're not playing with a number 9. They've got a full out striker now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So to ends, man, that was what he asked for at Chelsea. He complained that they bought Sterling and gave him Sterling's on 400k a week. Giving 400k a week whilst he was on 75. Wow, I didn't realize he was on that much. Do you know what I mean? Ravi's diet. So it's basically said the same thing as you. Diet and all that, diet and nutrition. That sort of like helps these players up and down with the longevity. You know what I mean? The same when if you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, what's he now? Nearly 38, and he's still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where did you hear it was? Where did you hear it or read it? I'll go and check it out. That's crazy. He asked for that.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. 300 grand a week. I said he needs. That's not so easy though, because he needs a headlock. It was not nice, you know. He said, so the ends, man, it's Sterling. Let's go through these messages, these last lot of messages. Albert, it's blessing. Yeah. Blessing does not get injuries from. Yeah, it's a blessing still, because Salah hasn't had much injuries. Nature Boy. Oh, Sterling is 28. Chris, Sterling is 28.
28? Oh, okay.
Sterling is 28. 28 now. Yeah. And it's still in his prime, still, you know. It's still in his prime. 325k a week apparently. Wow. I mean, Sterling 325. Nature Boy says that Albert dropping so much fake news. Stop that, man. How that is. That's so fake news, you know. Good Nature Boy. Nature Boy. It's 325 grand and 75 grand for the signing on fee. Stop calling me a liar if you don't know. Read. Wow. Yeah, allow that, innit? When the man calm down in the chat, man. When the man calm down.
It's getting spicy.
I know it, and the man calm down, man. His signing fee is not paid up front. Chris, you should make a channel. Wow. Chris said he ain't really got time for that right now still, but when we come up. So guys, is there any last minute questions you want to ask Chris? Get your questions in, last minute questions you want to ask Chris. He's here. We'll be here for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're gonna obviously make a move. But if there's any last minute questions, man, get your questions in, man. You know what I mean? Take advantage of Chris's knowledge. You know what I mean? That's what I thought. Man, everyone's shit story now. Yeah, man. So get your last minute questions in, and obviously, you know, take advantage of.
There's hardly Ariel is really injured. Like, is that confirmed? I'm not like.
I'm gonna look that up. You know, I'm gonna look that up after when I finish. I'm gonna look that up still. You know what I mean? Because I can't believe he's injured, man. You know what I mean?
If it's a because it will be a training injury, so that's another injury happening in training and stuff. So
That's what I'm trying to say. There's got to be something. There's got to be something in the day that we've got to look at. Say, well, look, you know. Ensman says, Chris, are you any good at football? He's asking me good at football.
So fun story, I guess. If we're talking about, just let's speak about it. So my dad used to play for the U16 for a team in Colombia called Atlético Nacional.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
So he, my grandmother left Colombia and dragged him to the United States and stuff. And when he got here, he wasn't considered, I guess, good enough or whatever. So he was a very, very bitter man in that. So he tried to, I guess, make me a football player and stuff. So I wouldn't say I'm good or whatever. I'm decent, but no, I'm not.
I got a question. Actually got a question for you. Yeah. Obviously, is your first language Spanish? Yeah.
Is
that your first language?
So funny story. So I grew up in New York. So so everyone in the house spoke Spanish, but my cousins, we all lived there. We spoke English. So I honestly think my first language was English. And when I went to school, my father said that I was bilingual, so they put me in bilingual class, and I didn't speak a word in Spanish. I was speaking English, and they left me back. That I had to stay an extra year in the same grade because apparently I was failing in Spanish and stuff. It was really. I think English is my first language, but I speak Spanish fluently and stuff. So.
Okay. Because what I was going to ask you, if you didn't say obviously English is your first language, I was going to ask you, was it hard actually to learn English? You know, but obviously it wasn't really. You know what I mean? You know, because he said your cousin spoke it. You know what I mean? Great show, Roz and Chris. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. There's gonna be many more of these, man. Many more of these. When the Uncle Albert says when you get to a certain age, they won't pay you a signing fees up front for obvious reasons. The signing fees is more or less paid to play. Okay, that's something new, you know. That's something new. That's something new. No, I don't think he is Chris. I don't know which one that is.
I think it's Elliot, I think.
Oh no, yes, it must be, yeah. Okay, Albert. Well, I'm earning 600k 600k a year, 100k now, and no, I'm not reading that rest of that, man. That's gonna cause confusion. You know what I mean?
Natural boy, he came with the smoke today and stuff.
I know, but I don't really want to sort of like, you know what I mean? Yeah, because when there's when people from Africa in the day, right, when they make a point, you know what I mean, they will come with some receipts, you know. They will come with some receipts. Yeah, man. So African people come with when you put it this way, when you're having a discussion, I won't say an argument, get in there, because we're not arguing with people. When you're having a discussion with some from Africa, make sure you got receipts because they're gonna have their receipts in there.
Oh wow.
They will have the receipts in them there. So look, boom, bang, this, and this, and this, and this. And it'll be up to you to refute that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So make sure you got receipts and stuff. You know what I mean? That's one thing I respect about African people is that if they come to you with something, they have the receipts in there. They will have their receipts. You know what I mean? You see how the man Albert said he's researched into what man's getting and what man's not getting. He's researched it. The man's got his receipts in the dog. Someone was saying Elliot fell on was it with that guy there? When he was
Luis Diaz.
Yeah, Luke Diaz. Oh, when they was in Dubai, stuff like
Hey, Kane, don't tell me that, man. I'm gonna have to kidnap
that.
Billy and put him in the basement, man. Like,
Nature boy, can I borrow your? That's my guess. Nature boy, can I borrow £10, please? Nature, Nature boy, great for you. I retired and I was skid row on a little village in Florida. Yeah, man's in the States of where you are, but he's in Florida. That's like far away from you, innit? Florida's far, innit?
I was there. I was there. Actually for Christmas and stuff because me and my wife have property out there that we rent out. It's in Coral
Yeah.
Springs in Florida.
Oh, okay. I'll borrow you £1 now. Get out of it.
Damn.
No, listen, the
Well,
man said it.
and then,
The man said,
Natural boy, look, he works for the mafia, man. He's a collector for the mafia, man. Don't play with
oh
him.
no, innit? That's not,
Yeah.
I'll borrow you £1 now. A £9 over my lifetime. He's such an idiot. Edman TV says, was you any good at football? I didn't used to play football. I was a boxer.
Oh,
I used
word.
to, yeah, I used to box back in the day, man. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't at the high level. I wasn't at the high level. You know what I mean? So I had about 12, at amateur level, I had about 12 fights and won 7 or something like that. 7.
Okay.
But my older brother, he was good as a boxer, man. He was good. I admired him. You know what I mean? Something when it came to boxing, if something just clicked in his head and everything that, and he could just do it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Very good. You know what I mean? But yeah, boxing was my thing still. I didn't used to play football and stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, boxing was thing still. Uh, start one bench, one cell, and one Jude. Perry and Gavel. Listen, that guy there was it Pedri, yeah, right from Barcelona.
He's a
He's on
trip.
£1 billion buy, you know. He
He's
stay there, £1 billion, you know.
that kid is he's gifted.
Oh, this is a guy I was on a stream with earlier on. A guy called Tony Gunner. He had a stream earlier on and I jumped on this. There was a good friend of mine, Tony. And there was an Arsenal guy in there. I think not Nigel. Can't remember his name now, but the last guy there, he was spitting facts. A good guy. Spurs guy, this is him. You know, Hot Spurs TV, and I subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to mine. Good guy, man. He's a good guy. Still, we're doing little reads and stuff. That sort of chopper. So, enough respect to you, man. I'm gonna try and get you on my show on Tuesday. Got Tuesday Night Live if you're interested. Hot Spurs and everything that. So, if you want to come on, I'll make the link with you still, man. Good guy, he's a good guy. KLFC says Ensman TV. I was a baller, no cap. See, is that you going on? Oh, okay. Hot Spurs, big up, bro. Big win today. It's a good win today for them. Spurs won, you know.
Against
They beat
who?
Man City. Man City 1-0.
Seriously?
Yeah, they beat Man City 1-0. Yeah. Esban CV says, yeah, I can tell by the way you play FIFA still. Yeah, K's all right after this FIFA thing, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Kat, how you doing, Kat? How's everything with you? Why did we even buy Cavalier if we don't even play with a 10? I put that question to you, Chris, my man.
Do you think Carvalho was bought by the club or by Jurgen Klopp? Because if it's by Jurgen Klopp, then I don't understand why he's not playing. I know he's injured right now. I'm not sure what injury he has, but if it was bought from the club for like as like for the future type thing, I don't see why Klopp would play him. You know, so I'm not sure.
Makes no sense. Free Cavalier. That's a free Cavalier there.
He needs to get uninjured first, I think.
Marco Corleone in the building. What's going on? Question for Chris. Was it Carlito?
Carlito's Way or Scarface?
Yeah, yeah.
Michael Corleone. I would say The Godfather for you, but no. I would say Scarface, man. Al Pacino's, well, he's in the other one as well, but I think Scarface to me was, yeah, I like Scarface.
Because that was Scarface was like a trilogy, though. And the Scarface was a trilogy.
No,
I
it
mean,
wasn't.
like,
I don't think it was a trilogy. No, it was just one movie. Yeah.
no, it's two, it's three.
No, The Godfather is a trilogy.
Oh yeah, sorry, big man. Sorry, big man. Oh
Yeah.
god, going mad round there. Sorry, man.
I watched the Godfather, like the trilogy, like once, because it's like so long. Like the movies are like 2-3 hours type thing. But nah, I love Scarface, man. Scarface is
better. Scarface is better because it's like, I don't know, it's more original, isn't it? Scarface is more kind of like, was the first one, even before Carlito's Way. Put it this way, Carlito's Way is tame to Scarface, and I think that, do you know what I mean? Because you know what, there's some of the things they say. All right, some of the things they say in Scarface, in there, yeah. All right, look at that was done. That was done in 1983, nearly 40 years ago. That was made, yeah. The things they say in Scarface, they still say now.
Yeah.
Let me one kind of like I don't know, one thing that they say up to today with Carlito's Way. They don't really say anything. You know what I mean? Scarface is the one, man.
Did Al Pacino win an Oscar for Scarface?
He might have, He might have. I'm not too sure. I have to look that up. But he's a dope actor, though. He's a dope actor. He's a dope actor. Rod's on the footy pitch. He's gonna foul everyone. He's gonna foul everything. Yeah, man. Taking out everybody. Because you try and sort of like dummy me and everything. Now you ain't kicked down, blood. He kicked down, blood. Ensman said, I did boxing, judo, and taekwondo. Do you still do boxing? Couple of years ago, I got into Thai boxing, like Muay Thai. And Muay Thai. And the last time I trained doing Muay Thai was probably before I went to Germany.
No,
so like 2 or 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
I went back in the day when I was in the military and stuff. I went to Thailand and stuff. Man, they take Muay Thai serious out there. Like, it's the real deal. Like, I always had a passion for it. I never got into it. What movie was it? Was it Bloodsport? Bloodsport's heavy. that's that. Yeah, I like movies like that. I grew up watching movies like that. But in regards to fighting, like, I do like combative. Well, that's because I was taught in the Marine Corps, but I do it. Yeah. My fighting is different in compared to like what you guys do. I'm trained to do other things than just fighting and stuff. So.
Yeah. There's a guy who's a Romanian guy, and he can knife fight.
Yeah. I do that too.
Yeah, he taught me some of it. I've forgotten most of it now, but he taught me some of it, and I think that something's very good. Very good. You know what I mean? Michael Corleone, more Scarface too. I just Carlito's Way is more Latino. I thought Chris might prefer.
Nah. I think too, like growing up, my dad, like the stuff my dad watched, I just got into it. So he introduced me to Scarface, so I just got into it. So I didn't watch Carlito's Way until I was like a lot older. So
who's that woman? The Colombian woman that was in Modern Family. Her name's Sophie Vega.
Sofia Vergara, yeah.
Sophie, that was in Modern Family, isn't it? Modern Family. Yeah. So you got her, or what's the other one name now? Hayek. That woman Hayek. What's her name?
Oh, but she's not Colombian. I think she's Mexican. I think her husband.
I know, but who would you prefer? Who would you? I'm gonna get you in trouble, so I'm not gonna ask that question.
No, my wife's not here, but
I could ask the question then. Ask the question. Who would you prefer, Sophie Vega or Salma Hayek?
I don't know. I'm not gonna pick the typical answer, my countrywoman and stuff, but I'm gonna pick Salma Hayek. She looks good for her age and stuff.
Yeah.
I think the funny thing is it's funny like I find Sophia's accent really funny and stuff.
And it's typical, isn't it? It's just like
Yeah,
after a while, it
like
gets annoying.
yeah, it gets annoying after a while, but yeah, Salma Hayek. But her husband owns a football club. You know that, right? In
In
he
France.
yeah, in France. Yeah, in France. He
Yeah,
owns a
yeah,
club in France. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But you know what is about? You know what I say about Salma Hayek? Because have you seen that film, Desperados?
Of course I did. Yeah. With
Yeah, of course, yeah,
who's the
of
guy
course.
in it?
George Clooney. George Clooney.
Yeah.
Do you see when she's dancing on the table? Yeah. Now she hasn't. Not Desperados, is it? It's not Desperados that we dance on the table.
No, Desperados is with
Banderas, isn't it? Antonio
Banderas.
Banderas.
Antonio Banderas. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But what's the one where George Clooney's in it? From Dusk Till Dawn. From Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay.
From Dusk Till Dawn. And she's dancing on the table with a snake. Salma Hayek's
Oh,
dancing
yeah,
on the table
yeah,
with a
yeah,
snake.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Listen, for them times there now, yeah, from them times till now, trust me, she hasn't really changed, you know. She hasn't really changed, man. Salma Hayek for me all day long, blood. Trust me. You know what I mean? Albert said, I tried boxing back in the day. Some kid from me on diagnosed with a jab. I just wrestled him down and gave him.
yeah.
Uncle Albert's not nice, you know. He's
Nah,
not having none of it.
I find like that's why like when you fight like in real life or in the streets, I'm a dirty fighter, man. Like I am. Like I'm not going into no polls or nothing, man. I'm gonna win. So
Yeah.
but if you fight me, man, don't expect me to be all polite and stance up, man. I'll bite your neck off or something, man. I don't. I'm gonna survive, man.
It's true, though, isn't it? He's
Yeah, I'm a
chatting
dirty
about.
like nah, man. I have a family. I have a family to get to. I'm a dirty fighter, man. I'll bite some.
Yeah, I ain't playing.
I'll do a Mike Tyson, man. I'll bite someone's ear off, man.
Ross, I'm playing the quiz tomorrow. Ash said he'll be trolling you if you don't. I'll be in the chat, man. I'll be in the chat and answer 2 questions still. You know what I mean? I'll be in the chat, man. I'll be in the chat ends, man. You don't know the thing, man. Trust and support, man. You get me? And Chris, you're welcome to also if you're free, but it's nothing to do with Diaz.
Welcome for what?
No, he does a quiz night every Monday night.
Monday
Ends
night.
my dad.
All right.
Every
Yeah, yeah.
Wednesday. Yeah.
I'll come
Yeah,
on.
Link Quinn still and everything now, and he'll tell you what to do what to download and everything. You can do the quiz with him still.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's anybody in the chat that wants to do the quiz night with Ensman, which he does every Monday. Link him and he tell you what to download and you can take part in the quiz night. It's very good. It's very good. But I will be in the chat tomorrow, Ensman. Trust me. I'll be in the chat tomorrow. Rod's favorite boxer of all time. Top 3, you know. Raw. You know what? Top 3. Roberto Duran's got to be in there. He's got to be in there. He was like a warrior. He was a warrior, man. Roberto Duran. Sugar Ray Leonard. Marvin Hagler. That's my 3. What's your 3? Do you have any all-time boxers of all time?
I'm not into boxing. I'm not into boxing.
Okay.
I'm able to. I started like watching Mike Tyson documentaries lately. Man, that man was an animal, man. He was a fighter, man. Like wow,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah, this is what you got to do. If you got to download, does it Kahoot? And when you go live, put the code in that I show you, and then just answer the questions. That's it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, if you want to take part in that and everything that, you know what I mean. But you're in the group anyway. He's in the group as well. So if you forget anything, you can just ask him and he'll just tell you. Michael Collins, bad boy film, half gangster, half vampire film. That was a good film. That was a good film. The Dust Door was heavy. I don't care. It's a bad film.
You know,
But I still play football 2K a week. Fat old man football. He's dredging it. I was dredging it. I was dredging it. Oh, God. Let's go through these last comments before I wrap up. Kay, you already know. Ensman, your quiz night is nice. I love the lady. The perspective was tough. They got a girl in there. She looks good still, you know. Her name's was it Monique or something like that? Yeah, look good in her family. You know what I'm saying?
my wife,
No,
my wife be tracking me and stuff. I gotta be careful what I say. And stuff.
yeah, you know those ones, isn't it?
I'll be sent to sleep in the couch and stuff, man. You know what I mean? So.
Ezra said, "Nah, I want you to play, man. You keep
Jamaican,
telling me you're all now trolling you girls."
no, but those Jamaican women have a lot of spice in them, man. So I gotta be
Yeah,
careful.
yeah. You can't ramp with them certain way, brother. You can't ramp with them certain way. So I ain't gonna. That's not. Remember what I said to you before with the Sophie Vega and Salma Hayek. I said, "Yeah, I'm not gonna ask you. You're gonna get in trouble." So he said, "Yeah, no, you're okay. You can do it." You know what I mean? Ensman's quiz are so cool as fuck. Albert, laughing Albert. Michael, I got Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, and was it Otto Gatti? Is it Otto Gatti? Or Toro, not Toro Gatti. Just for my heart scene. Okay. Who's that Mexican guy? That the one I got at the moment. I forgot his name. Oh, I forgot his name. I don't remember his name still, but he's good, man. He's good. Does Chris watch UFC? Do you watch UFC?
Nah, like I try to get into it, but like I don't know, like because of my training and stuff, I just see things a lot differently now. Like with like regards to like fighting and stuff like that. So like when I look at it, like it's like a little bit boring for me. Like I criticize a lot. So when I look at it, I'd be like, why did he do that? Why did he go for that type thing? So I don't watch it. Plus the pay-per-views are like really expensive too. So
yeah, I can imagine.
I'd rather spend it on myself or
wifey and them things. Listen, is it true that the weather's hot all year round in California?
The coldest has gotten is 60 degrees.
Sorry?
The coldest has gotten here is like 60 degrees.
That's not too shabby, is it really?
No, it's not.
Not too shabby. I like that, man. Do you live near Venice Beach?
Where?
Is it Venice Beach? You got Venice Beach down there?
So the reason why it's so hot where I'm at, I live close by the beach. So I'm literally 30 minutes away from Mexico. So it's hot.
Shut up. Seriously?
Yeah, I can drive to Mexico. Like what was it, like last weekend I drove to Mexico with my missus to Tijuana. I went there.
Yeah.
And we drove right back and stuff. So yeah.
Yo, that's mad thing. Ross, what's your top 3 best players of all time? Same to Chris.
Like players like football, like soccer and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I was football, man. Don't say soccer, man. Louder, innit?
Oh, excuse me, sorry. My one for me, because growing up and stuff, this guy made me love the game. Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
For me, like he did things with the ball that I've never thought I can do. Like I thought I was at the time when I was a kid, I thought I was good at the game until I tried to do what he does. I could never do what he does. Like for like I think like there will never be a player like him in regards to like the rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Like when there was a game I remember where Real Madrid stood up and kind of clapped Ronaldinho because of
when he done that run down the left. When he ran down the left.
Like you will never see that again like that, and he was always with a smile and stuff. My next player is Ivan Cordova. He's a Colombian defender.
Yeah.
The reason why I love him is because the only Copa America we have as a nation was because of him. He scored the winner in the final against Mexico. Since then, we've sucked since. So, and then the next one, people might not know him, but this is like I feel like he's Mbappe before Mbappe. Esprilla.
I know him. He used to play for Newcastle.
Yeah, so yeah, like he was.
Bad.
Yeah,
Bad boy.
you remember? Yeah, he was
Yeah.
fast.
Bad boy. Bad boy. Don't play with him. Bad man.
Yeah.
Esprit wasn't nice though. Esprit
Yeah.
wasn't like that. You see, that's when Newcastle had a team, you know.
Yeah.
That's when Newcastle had a team, you know. Oh, my all time. Okay. I have to put Ronnie Boy in there. I have to put Ronaldinho in there because
Ronaldinho, yeah.
yeah, I have to put Ronaldinho because what you said, and then it's exactly it. It's exactly it. Every time he played football, he played with a smile on his face. He played with a smile on his face. I'm gonna be biased on there because most of my players at the day all time in the day, right? They are Brazilian. So you got Ronaldinho, then you got the Ronaldo, the real Ronaldo.
Phenomenal.
You know what I mean? You know, the real one, and like what he done when he went to PSV, when he ran through all those players and everything, and just slotted the ball in.
His
You know
goal
what I
scoring
mean?
record is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
I think I saw a chart. Let me see if I can find it. Like, his goal scoring record is ridiculous, and I'm like, I get upset when people talk about like Ronaldo not being that good or whatever. His career was too short because of injuries. I'm like, wow.
Nah, he was something special. Remember the day, you know, he went to the World Cup, yeah, overweight.
Injured
He went to the
too.
World Cup. Oh, he was overweight and everything that right, and he still kind of ended up the highest scorer, and Brazil won the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? Won the World Cup, man. Come on now, seriously. There's Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and I have to say Pele, yeah, because Pele set the thing.
Yeah, I never watched him play and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm trying to say. Pele set the thing in the day, the youngest guy in the day to sort of like, you know, score in the World Cup and stuff. So Pele really at the day set the thing. He set the standards and stuff. You know what I mean? And obviously he played in a time in the day, played football in a time in the field where there's like there was a lot of racism. I mean there is now, but a lot of racism, a lot of politics as well. There's a lot of politics in there, and he still was able to shine. You know what I mean?
He was young too when he won it, right? Pele, when he won the World Cup, he was young, right?
Yes, 17.
Wow. Wow.
17 years old. He's the youngest guy. Yeah, 17 years old.
That's crazy.
17 years old. My favorite boxer is Amazu Nelson. He was good. And my friend Nigel Ben, he was good. Is a close second. I used to hang out with him back in the day at Funky. Well, Funky, where is he there? Don't know if the club is still exists. Christ, probably does actually. Michael Corleone. Oh yeah, Colin Alvarez. Yeah,
Mexican boxer,
heavy.
yeah.
Heavy.
He has like how much titles does he have? He has like 8 belts or something right now, right?
Listen,
6 division belts or something.
listen. He fought a guy from England. Yeah, he fought a guy from England called I think he's gone. He's retired as well. Some Pakistani guy.
Triple G.
Oh, no, the Pakistani guy. He's sort of like he fought anyway.
Triple G. You talking about Triple G?
No, not him. He's an English guy. He fought. Oh, God, the guy's from Bolton as well. I can't remember his name now. I forgot his name. I can't remember his name. Can't remember his name. Anyway, but he fought him and everything, and he literally knocked him out. But you know when they say it, and they sort of like, you know, if you might say to somebody, if you don't stop messing about, I'll knock the snot out of you. Yeah, I'll knock the snot out of you. Listen, he literally knocked the snot out of him. Literally, he hit him with a right hand and everything that, and he connected so perfectly and everything that. The guy was never getting up.
I think Albert says Amir Khan. Was it him?
Yes, Amir Khan, yeah. Amir Khan, yeah. It was him. Depending on which part of the Cali you live. Northern Cali, it's cold. Northern Cali, it's cold, isn't it?
Yeah,
Apparently.
'cause you gotta look at it too. If you look at the map in the United States, like Northern Cali is close to like Washington State, and it's close to like Canada, so it gets cold up there.
Yeah, what doesn't surprise me, Chris lives near Mexico, some deals going on there, brother. Oh, stop it. R9, Messi, Ronaldo.
Yeah,
R9 is good,
that's
but
good.
like, when you go to sort of like when people that set the thing, set the standards for them, and people that do things at the day on the ball and everything that nobody's ever done. All right, because at the day, like Ronaldo, you know him for scoring goals, yeah, those goals are. But Ronaldinho at the day, not only for scoring goals, but ability. His ability on the ball and everything is unbelievable. Ensman says, minus Ronaldinho, Gerrard, and Kaka. He was good as well. Kaka,
Kaká was
he was
another one. Yeah,
he's a baller as well.
I think he was better with AC Milan than he was in Real Madrid, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I've seen one time. I've seen himself and I think that right. Literally himself took apart Man United. Literally took them apart.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man. Literally took them. He was a baller. Big up Master Rods. That's Tony. That's Tony Claude Gunner TV. That's the guy I was on his stream before I done this one.
okay.
So yeah, he's a good guy. So please, guys, go over and show some support to Tony Claude Gunner TV. Hit your like and hit the subscribe button. Very good guy. Does some good stuff in there. He's got some good guys there. So I had to put a man in his place over there still. I had to put a man in his place too. Well, he's a Man United sport. He's coming a little smoking after say, yo, man, come a little smoke down still. You know what I mean? Great show, guys. Smash up the likes. That's Tony Cool says that. That's last. Uh, Amir Khan, and that's it. That's the last one. That's the last comment.
No,
Right, we're gonna wrap this up.
I live
Yeah,
in Coronado, California, so it's like a very bougie, very, I guess, high class area in California. It's like a strip, like an island out of California and stuff. So yeah.
see, it's got a bit of Latino community over there. So,
No, where I'm at's a lot of white people and stuff.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. But they have got like a lot of Latinos in California itself, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of Mexicans and stuff in my area and stuff too as well. So
Yeah. I've always said I want to go to California now. And now I've got a reason today. You know what I mean? So we've got California, man. We've got Cali. Link up the man and say, yo, brother, man, reach over in a dog.
yeah,
Man,
yo,
reach over.
everyone should save up, man. Come out here for the World Cup, man, in
Yeah.
a couple of years, man. So you know.
Yeah. Why not? You know what I mean? Be an experience still. But you know what, Chris? It's been a pleasure having you on my show. And we need to do this again. We need to do this again. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
anytime, man. Whenever you need me, if I'm available, I'll come on and stuff. You know what I mean? It was nice to come on and talk. And just have fun,
Yeah.
just talk and just have fun to talk with people and stuff like that. You know, something different.
Yeah. It's nice still to just like chop up certain things and everything and reason and them where they're still. But it's been great, man, having you on the show, man, and just like all those times at the day, obviously seeing you on Coppish and giving so much jokes and everything. I never thought I'd have you grace my show, grace your
Oh
presence in
man,
my show. So,
I didn't know you had a show until recently, to be honest.
yeah.
So
And like I was telling them Monday, I said, yo, man, the man passed through. I guess the man passing through because Cal did a show on his own the other night, and I went on there, and I was telling him that you passing through and all that. So he said to yo, tag me. He goes, tag me.
he's probably busy, man. Like, you know what I mean? He's probably stressed out as well, man. We all stressed up as Liverpool fans at the current moment, man. Like,
Yeah. But it is big, man. It is what it is and everything. That we know it, and then we got excuse me, we know it, and then we got problems with the club and everything that, and we know it, and that it's not gonna solve itself overnight. We know that. So what do? We have to soldier on it. We have to soldier on. It's like being in a relationship and everything that, and you know you got problems in a relationship, and you know for a fact that these problems that you got in a relationship at the day, right? It's not going to solve itself overnight. So what do you do? You work at it. You work at it, and like slowly and slowly you rebuild your relationship that you got. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. That's all you can do. You can't do nothing else. I mean, I was the other day and the game on Saturday. I wasn't even vexed. I was disappointed. You know what I mean? I was disappointed, but I wasn't even angry. Do you know what I mean? Because I had a feeling that might be coming. I was just putting a brave face on, saying that you know, that we was gonna win. But you know, I had a feeling that was gonna come. I had a feeling that was gonna come. So good. That's how it is, my friend. But you know, what I mean, it's been a pleasure having you on, my friend. Do you know what I mean? I'll be in close contact, and then for now, we'll do another show like this again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, because it's very good. Do you know what I mean? It's very good. Reaching out and building a community like we have. You know what I mean? And you know, I've like what I've done. I've loved every part of what I've done, building this community and stuff. Do you know what I mean? You know, so yes, definitely we have to do it again. So, guys, at the day, if you're gonna watch this on a replay, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Okay, make sure you do that. Also, comment and share if you subscribed already. Comment and share, and hit the notification button, and you shall be notified anytime I go live. So you can obviously join in the chat and so forth. But most of all, comment and share and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit the like button. Right, tomorrow. I'm not sure what's happening tomorrow in the way of me doing shows tomorrow. I'm not too sure, but you know, you probably hear from me certain times of the day, whether I'm on somebody else's show or whatever. But you will hear from me. Big up everybody in the chat. Big up Albert. Big up Tony, Claude. Big up Andico. Ravi, Ensman, big up Ensman, and make sure you go over and subscribe to Ensman TV. Big up KLFC, everybody that's in the chat. Big up everyone in the chat. Thank you for rocking me for this last nearly 2.5 hours. Thank you for rocking me, and I'll see you guys very, very, very soon. Let me see something now. No, it's this one here. So I'll see you guys very soon. I will end this stream now. And guys, remember, if you're watching to the replay, like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the notification button. Guys, till next time, I'll see you guys later. Take care.